We talked about a trip to Lundy back in New Year 2020. At that time we were expecting to go to France to record our next album, which never happened, of course, because of the pandemic. So following months of not being able to play together, we were really looking forward to our tour in 2021. We had the idea of arriving in Devon really early on the first morning to beat all the holiday traffic. And we took a rather sumptuous breakfast picnic with us, with wild Alaskan salmon and eggs which we'd poached in the seawater, with some rocket, and a rather good glass of Prosecco, I seem to remember. We stayed at the old vicarage in Ilfracombe for a few days of rehearsals. We spent most of our time here rehearsing, but we did enjoy some wonderful walks up onto the cliff tops and a little swimming in the sea. I think the cold was numbed by beer and wine. These trips are great social occasions for us. We organise an evening meal rota and take it in turns to prepare food. For some, that's arguably more stressful than any of the concerts we do. The ferry over to Lundy was quite busy and a good opportunity for us to hand out flyers for our concerts. We caught sight of dolphins at one point. They were too quick for us to get any decent photos.
So Adam, how
yes,
do you
Liz.
feel to be going to Lundy at last?
It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to see where we're staying. I'm looking forward to our concerts. And it looks like we've got a captive audience here. We've distributed our flyers and lots of people seem interested. Well, we had a calm sea and it was a lovely crossing, and we're here in sunshine.
Lovely.
So everything great so far.
So Anna, what's happened to your flute?
Well, yes, they've hijacked my flute, and so that means I can't play today. Never mind, eh?
It's a good thing you did your practice yesterday.
Probably a blessing for everybody.
It looks very, very heavy.
No, it's fine. And I've got the sherry.
Sure. Oh, you got the sherry.
Right, we got to Lundy. We've got the essentials, the sherry and the fish. Yeah. Our dinner for tonight. The porters take everyone's luggage to the various places they're booked into around Lundy. Most of us were staying in Milcombe House, which is the first house you come to on the island. It was built in 1835 for the Heaven family, and apparently Lundy had become a bit of an unloved and barren place until William Heaven, who was a businessman from Gloucestershire, bought the island. Lundy has a very interesting history. There are remains that suggest it's been inhabited for over 3,000 years. During the Norman period, the island was leased to the Morisco family. They used the island as a base for piratical raids on passing ships. During the reign of Henry III, William de Moresco, who was then head of the family, was implicated in a plot against the king and was hanged for treason. Henry then had a castle built on the island, and you see history wherever you walk, even in the wildlife. The introduction of mammals to the island goes as far back as the 12th century. Compared to all the ancient history, the church where we gave our concerts seemed relatively modern. It was built in the Victorian period and financed by a bequest from Sarah Heaven. It was a really lovely acoustic to play in, and each day we'd have a fresh audience of day trippers, as well as people who were actually staying on the island. One couple who we chatted to during an interval told us that they regularly stayed at the furthest building on the island called Tibbetts. So on the day we were leaving, a few of us decided to take a sneaky look inside Tibbetts. And I mean, there was no electricity, only gas lamps, and only pumped water for the shower. Looking through the logbook, it obviously has a regular group of visitors who love the remoteness of it and the very basic accommodation. What's really interesting is the fact that it was originally a signal and watch station, and apparently on a clear night you can see 14 lighthouses from it.
Okay, what did I like best about Lundy Island? Well, to get there, we had to get a boat, and we saw dolphins, which was amazing. And then, of course, all the nature and the peace was wonderful, and it helped us focus on the music. And I loved the fact that we did 4 concerts during the time we were there. That must be the most concerts we've ever done on a trip. And, of course, the Morisco Tavern. I enjoyed drinking beer in the Morisco Tavern.
The best thing about Lundy? Well, we stayed in such a lovely spooky house. But the best thing about Lundy? It's definitely the penguins.
What I enjoyed most about Lundy, I think, was just the walks. I had so many walks around the island, and it's the most amazing scenery. And seeing all the puffins and the seals and wild horses, just an incredible experience, and I really hope we go back there sometime.
I think Lundy offered a great opportunity for the orchestra. We gave a concert every day we were there in the little church, and we had a captive audience. I mean, the ferry only takes people off the island at sort of 6 o'clock, so we gave our concert at 5. And I think it was one of our peak episodes in the history of Aspidistra, because we did a different program every day, and so we got through 50 or 55 pieces altogether, so that was good.
I remember so many beautiful things about our trip to Lundy. I didn't really know much about it, but I'd always wanted to go there too. And I think my main memories of just how beautiful it is. Particularly, we were doing concerts in the church, which when we first went to the church, I remember it was a beautiful morning, and there's this very wide path leading down to the church, and then just nothing, just sea as far as the eye could see, and this beautiful church where we did our playing. And then I think all the sounds of birds, there seemed to be so many birds everywhere in Lundy, flying about, chirruping, sparrows, and then in the church there was I think there were swallows or house martins nesting in the porch, and they seemed to be enjoying our music. And also I just really loved our audiences. Quite a few of them were people who were staying on the island, you know, dressed in their rainwear or whatever, who trudged over to our concerts, you know, day after day, and were absolutely fantastic, which really made it special.
But we had a very successful series of concerts on Lundy, and we made £252.19, which we go to donate to the Lundy Fund. I'm going to round it up to £300, and then so there is £50 for the church.
That's very generous. Thank you.
So, and I would like to keep the hat.
Well, I had my own. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed your stay.
Yes.
And so
We did. There's a lot of feeling that we should come back, but we've never been before to the same place twice. So, but you never know.
I think we should run a festival here.
well,